Hello everyone and welcome to my first real video on makeup. In this one I am just going to go over the bare basics of what you need to apply makeup. So what tools are needed to apply makeup? Now clearly, there's going to be people that are watching this that have been doing makeup for years. There's going to be people that are a lot better than me. I am still learning. I think anyone that says they're a complete expert is lying. Like anything, you're always learning. Now there are a few things that you can do to apply makeup. First and foremost, fingers. It is amazing how easy it is to apply makeup with fingers, and clearly they cost nothing because we've all got them. At least I hope you've got them. Number 2, a brush. I'm doing the typical, come on, focus camera. I'm being a makeup artist and doing a video. This is the cheapest brush. Look, it bends and everything. It doesn't really matter. A brush is a brush. Now, there's plenty of different types of brushes, but clearly try and get the right one for the job. This is a foundation brush. I mean, clearly I could actually, bear with me, go and I have a whole makeup collection brush set. Now, not some of the brushes have actually been removed. They're in process of cleaning. But I can roll it out and I have a whole selection of brushes. There's other double-sided brushes in this. All of them have different uses. All of them are a bit better at doing something than something else. And this set is actually an expensive set. It's £280, so it's not cheap. You don't have to spend £280 on a set of makeup brushes. You can pick up, God knows, I've had this for ages. I don't even know where I got it. Probably a pound store somewhere, or a dollar store, depending on where you're from. I still sometimes use it for my cheaper makeups. I still sometimes use it. It's fine. There is a big difference. I do want to say this in quality of brushes. I didn't understand until I got more expensive brushes. There's a huge difference. However, you can achieve pretty much the same look with a dollar store, pound store brush. So why spend the money? Good question. Well, they're going to last longer for a start. They're going to apply it much nicer. I was going to say smoother, but it depends on what you're applying. They feel nicer. They last longer. I find they're easier to clean. And that's a very important thing when you're using brushes. Third method. Now, you could use a sponge. Now, this clearly does need cleaning. I should have done that before the video, but if you know anything about my makeup videos that I have been doing, I normally do them live, and the first thing I always have to go and do is actually wet this, because I like using a damp sponge. Now, this is perfect because, it's really good for blending. I think they're called blending sponges. And you can press in to your skin, or you can sort of buff it out. Some of them have like a smaller tip, and you can get various different sizes. I've got tiny little ones, this shape one, that shape one. I've even got a silicone one. Yes, you heard right, silicone. I believe it's the same sort of stuff that you have breast implants with. Not that I have breast implants, and I'm not saying that you do either, but I think it's the same material. They're meant to be great because every time, clearly, you use a sponge soaks things up. So you're losing a bit of your whatever you're using, so foundation, for instance, in the sponge. So with regards to silicone one, you don't get any loss. Nothing's being soaked up. Soaked up, yes. However, I don't get on with them. I can't stand them. They feel like they stick to your skin, drag your skin. They don't seem to push the makeup into your skin as well. But these, I don't notice really any difference in a cheap one and a really expensive one. I've got one that was £8 for one, and ones that are £1 for one. there's no real difference. Sometimes you can get £1 for £2, you know. I find with these, there's less difference than there are with brushes. So, you have your fingers, you have your brushes, and you have your sponges. Yeah! I should have done quiz time, really, shouldn't I? See if you're paying attention. So what's the difference in the methods? Well, I'm going to use my lovely shade of Unique Touch Mineral Liquid Foundation, which is my foundation of choice. Many others available. And I have the colour Chiffon. It's going to be back to front because it's a mirrored image. Now, you get various different types of foundation. We'll cover all that in another video. So this liquid one needs shaking, and look, it comes out as liquid. So if you was to apply it with your fingers, how would it look? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a couple of drops on the back of my hand, and I'm going to do this cheek with my fingers, and I'm just dabbing it on. Now, it's good to note, I have not primed my skin, I have not moisturised my skin. This is just going on sweaty skin because it's quite hot. So you're just using patting motions to get it in, and slightly moving your finger as you're doing so. Right, can you tell the difference? This one has the foundation, this one doesn't. Now I'm going to show you on my forehead using a brush. I'm going to use my cheek brush. So, once again, I'm just going to put a few drops on the back of my hand, and I'm going to put the brush into it. Now, because everyone has tiny little hairs that sometimes, you know, you don't really see, you ideally want to do a downward motion to get that flawless look. You will see a lot of people, depending on the brush and also depending on the sort of look you've got and the skin you've got, brushing it in like this. And that, if you've got big pores, can be a good thing. However, be careful you're using a good enough product, because you don't want to break out in spots, do you? Now, me, I do have fairly big pores, so I normally buff it in like this and go right up into the hairline, and then I go down. Okay, and finally we are going to use the sponge. Now, with the sponge, I haven't actually dampened it. I usually do, but I actually put the drops straight onto the sponge, and I'm going to do this cheek with it. Hair, get out the way. And then, literally, jumping it and bouncing it off the skin. Now, I used 3 drops, and I don't think it's done quite the coverage that either my finger has or the brush has. I'm pretty certain I used the same amount on each, but it's because it's been soaked up in it. It does help if it's damp, but you will always lose a bit of product by using a sponge. Not a great deal, not enough to worry about, not enough to go, oh my god, I'm not going to use sponges, but you will lose some unless you use a silicone one. So, guys, that is the 3 methods. There, you got fingers, you got brushes, and you got sponges. fingers, brushes, sponges, all do the same thing in a different way. All are acceptable. I use all methods depending on what I'm doing. I would say I probably use brushes slightly more than sponges, not a great deal. But then I have just spent a lot of money on brushes, so why not use them? Anyway, join me in my next video when we go over the basics of putting on a full face. Thank you for watching. Please do like, comment and subscribe. I do respond to everyone that comments. I'm more than happy to do certain looks, answer questions in videos, anything you like. So please do just drop something down below.